Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Everything Bears, where we talk about everything Bears. We've been talking about the Bears an awful lot lately, so let's take a look at what the rest of the division is doing today. Let's get this going.
Everything Bears show, yo, bear down, bear down, bear down, bear down, bear down, yo. Everything Bears show, bear down, bear down, bear down, bear down, bear down, yo. First down, first down, first down, touchdown. Everything between the walls, oh now, bow down to the ground. Lakeshore, downtown, sister throne of the north, up high, come down, find out, intercepted, locked down, found out, knocked down, nine down, in the state, touchdown, blow. First down, first down, touchdown. Everything between the walls, oh now, bow down to the ground. Lakeshore, downtown, sister throne of the north, up high, come down, find out, intercepted, locked down, found out, knocked down, nine round, in the state, touchdown, blow.
Ooh, good morning, Bears fans. Welcome back to the Everything Bears Show, your home for Everything Bears. And today, we're going to do a little intel. We're going to do a little digging into being snoopy and nosy. What do the other guys need? We know our needs. We talked ad nauseum about our needs. Sorry, I got a little gnat flying around.
I just thought you were cheering yourself already. Like, wow, this guy's he's ready. Yeah, let's do it. Woo!
I will be pumped throughout this whole show. But no, welcome back, everybody. It's a nice, beautiful Sunday morning. Except for Wedge, he's got thunderstorms.
Yeah. So if you hear a few rumbles in the background, I have eaten breakfast. That's not me. It is outside. So in this beautiful stormy day in the Midwest here. So
How does the neighborhood do with power?
so far so good. I mean, we've only lost it once in the 10 years that I've been here.
Oh, then great.
So I mean, it was overnight, but I mean that storm was 100% legit to where it was knocking down trees in the neighborhood, not just power. So,
Oof. Oof, oof, oof.
mhm.
All right.
So we're gonna jump in today, like we talked about in the beginning. We've talked, like I said, ad nauseum about what the Bears need. So why not take a look at the rest of the division to see what their needs are and what type of player overlap that we might see? We can kind of speculate to what they may need, well, and who they might take with those needs and in what order. So we'll kind of see. We'll see if we can't piece it together so we can have a general idea what to look for come draft day, which, by the way, is only 11 days away.
Ooh.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
It is almost here.
Can't wait. Cannot wait.
Agreed. So, how about it, huh? Anything we want to talk about before we jump into that? Maybe, I don't know, what the boys were doing out in California
Oh,
to kind of help us
God.
get warmed up.
Yeah, I wonder if I could pull any of that stuff up, which I'm sure I can. We have that technology, but couple things, right? Our QB is out there rubbing elbows and moving and shaking.
Yeah, some of those elbows that he's rubbing with kind of scares me.
Let's start with the good one first.
Good
Right,
morning,
we'll start-
Gina. Welcome to the show. Thank you for checking in with us here.
Good morning. I'm going to share a screen real quick, and here's our quarterback hanging out with. You could see them all, which is great. Look at that. There's Luther Burden.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that over there? I don't know who that is.
Not sure. Doesn't look familiar.
But he's there, USC. There's our boy.
Yeah, we know that guy.
We know who that guy is. Colston Loveland.
Third and Colston, yeah.
Third and Colson. Who's that over there? I don't know.
That's the man himself.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, it
that's
is.
Caleb for sure.
And so who's filming? Rome?
I'm pretty sure Jade is filming this. So,
Oh, this is from All Day Jade.
yeah,
But there
for
they
sure.
are, man. They're all together. That's what you want to see. This gets me pumped up because you always loved hearing, back in the day with quarterbacks. Oh, they're in Florida and they were all together, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
But this especially because this is the core of what this offense is gonna be.
I'm thinking that other player's got to be Rome, the one with like the do-rag on. So,
Oh yeah, it could be. Just looks
he's
a little
got the,
bulky right there, but
yeah.
it could be. Could be
So,
Rome. He's putting on man weight this offseason, so
mhm.
that could be a thing. Now, the other thing our quarterback was caught doing. Let me see if I got
Yeah.
that somewhere.
Caleb.
You know, was he with them or did they happen to you preface while I look it up?
Yeah, so from the video that I saw, it looks like they were kind of in the same VIP area with the Kardashians, and you can't quiz me on which ones he is with because I would have no idea. I just know they're Kardashians. So hopefully, and Caleb's a pretty smart guy. Hopefully, he is at the Kardashian track record before he gets, too far into anything. And I'm sure it was just kind of an acquaintance,
Yeah,
happenstance that they're meeting there. So
yeah.
let's just hope.
There's no love interest there,
Yeah.
because there is you see the VIP rope and they're in that special area. It's at the Coachella event.
Mhm.
And so, it's a fashion thing. Of course, the Kardashians are going to be there. Caleb, probably also into fashion, just happens to be in that same section. But I did say, you keep those women away from my quarterback. Do you understand me?
Yes. Don't get any ideas. First of all, he's way too young for you ladies. You're robbing the cradle there. But Caleb's a pretty smart guy. For
Yeah.
some reason, I don't see him falling into this thirst trap over there. So,
I trust his judgment as well.
yeah.
I
So
trust his judgment as well.
we shall see. I don't know. But I absolutely love the fact that the boys are out there. They're slinging it around at USC. Beautiful thing. It makes my heart happy to see all that. So,
Absolutely. Also, let's see if I can find it. Because I wanted to say, the coach is also prepping as well.
he is, yes. You know how we talked about unorthodox methods? This fits right in there. This is the first true full off season that we've seen with Ben Johnson. And he's, being the maniacal mastermind that he is, he has done it again. He's pulled another goat out of the barn, so to speak, and what he's planning on doing to help get these guys ready. This definitely looks like it's more of a defensive drill. So we'll kind of see how it goes. But Ben's getting those boys ready. That is for sure. And I kind of like where his headspace is at with this, man.
He's really callousing himself.
Mhm.
I'm having to scroll quite a ways because this was a little while back apparently.
Yeah, that is okay. But once you see this, I'm sure you guys might have seen this. I mean, some other people might have tried to implore this, but Ben Johnson being the man who he is, he's going to be the one who's going to master it, so to speak, so that he could get this defensive ready with this upcoming draft. Speaking of this upcoming draft, not to get too far ahead, but we had another top 30 visit that was announced in this past week. One Mr. Lamu, who we've looked at before in the drafts, but we weren't quite sure if the Bears would be interested because he's projecting out as a right tackle. Mr. Caleb Lamu uh, played right tackle. His teammate is the projected left tackle in this. He's also projected to be one of the top left tackles, if not the top left tackle, in Spencer Fanu. But yeah, we saw Caleb Lamu, which is interesting. That's a couple right tackles that we've seen. So that's a tad bit interesting.
It
Is
is.
this a situation where you can read into this a couple different ways? Let's go the first route. They're not looking to re-sign Darnell Wright. They want to replace him with a young rookie. They don't
That's
want to
one
pay him.
option.
One
That's one.
option. I said this one first because I think this is the least likely one.
Yeah.
Kind of going in order here. They're going to try to flip one of these right tackles to left tackle. We've seen this before with Ozzie.
Ozzie.
Yep. So he was right tackle, flipped to left. Ozzie had a little bit of left tackle experience, but was coming into the NFL. Could they flip Darnell Wright to left tackle? Could they try him out there? Could you take one of these right tackles from the draft and project them over to the left?
Just like they did Ozzie. That's
Yep.
what I would assume.
That's kind of where I'm leaning with this as well. Learn would be super happy to hear this because, he wants 6 offensive linemen in this draft. So we'll see kind of where they're at because they've brought in Einaker, the right tackle out of Arizona State, Lamu, right tackle out of Arizona State, Utah. Caden Proctor, the left tackle from Alabama. A lot of people think that he's not going to be there. So we'll see, man. I'm curious to see, what this is all about. Is this, yes, they're legitimately thinking about drafting an offensive tackle in the first round? Is this a smokescreen and they're going to go completely different direction? I don't know, man. I really don't know.
This is that time of season that they call lying season. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of cloak and dagger or subterfuge, to use a big word.
That
This
is a
is the
big word.
time for plenty of subterfuge.
Yeah.
I found the Ben Johnson tape.
Okay. Let's cue it up here. Is that Kyle Monungai in that ball?
Seriously. Kyle Monungai's the GOAT.
Yes.
He's
good point.
administering the harm.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's getting wrecked. I love it. Big shout out to Big Mike. Thanks. He a contributor to the show.
Mhm.
Thanks, Big Mike,
Frequent
for that.
contributor there. That after watching that video, man, I'm feeling sore right now. Whether you have that ball on or not, man, I don't know. So,
there was the other thing I forgot. The guys had brought up because I didn't know this till yesterday. I think Big Mike might have brought it up that the ladies, unfortunately, sorry ladies, Colston Loveland is spoken for now.
what? I haven't heard this.
And so let me show a picture with him and his new girlfriend. Because apparently the ladies and everybody in Bears world is a little upset. I think the men were hoping they still had a chance. And the women.
Hearts are breaking all across Illinois, huh?
He's breaking hearts, man. He's breaking hearts. Let me see here. Big Mike had it on his timeline. So I'm scrolling through. I had just seen it when I was looking for that Ben Johnson footage.
Okay.
I had
So,
seen it, so I'm right by it.
I mean, with the way this dude is working out in the offseason, man, I'm not surprised that he's turning a few more heads. This dude is getting jacked at this point. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see how that translates onto the field because he was a pretty sturdy guy last year. You think about him taking on D ends, D tackles, the whole nine. He ran the whole gamut there.
Yeah.
A rewatch that Bengals game was on yesterday, and I couldn't turn it off. It was a Colston Loveland and Kyle Monangai breakout party, and it
Yeah.
was super fun to rewatch. It's a lot easier to watch those games knowing the outcome because I was still pissed off after they gave up those 2 touchdowns within 59 seconds, I think, including a botched onside kick. But yeah, man, those 2 guys were all over the place. And that was the game that Swift was out, so Monangai carried the lion's share. So no surprise that it was his breakout game. But man,
Okay, Colston.
all right.
All right. I see you. I see you, young man. See what you're doing there.
Looks like he's enjoying a horseback ride out somewhere tropical, huh?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I see you. I see you, homie.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. Everybody deserves to be happy.
That's right. Everybody needs somebody. Somebody to love.
Somebody like you. All right.
Ah,
Well,
all right.
so
As
that was
everybody's filing in, come on in. Make yourself known in the comments. It's about that time, huh? Should we start getting into the division?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
And who would you like to start with?
Oh, wow. Let's go with our most hated rival. Let's start there.
Okay. Let's
Yes.
start with the Packers.
Yep.
Okay. So let me just bring up the transactions that they had and we can read these through. The Packers were in the news this week, as a matter of fact, trading Dontavian Wicks to the Eagles, which I think triggers another probably draft day trade with AJ Brown, or helps unlock that, or maybe gives us a little insight to what might happen. But the Packers have had an interesting offseason. So let's go through their transactions dating back to March 9th, right before free agency. They let go of their starting left tackle and Elton Jenkins. They re-signed their center, Sean Ryans, probably to a contract that was above market value, which is good for us. We love them to see them spending money frivolously.
Yes.
They traded Rashawn Gary to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for a 4th-round pick in 2027. They released Nate Hobbs, which was a 1-year. Everybody was super excited about his signing last year. He came over from the Raiders. They traded for Zaire Franklin in exchange for Colby Wooten, who was one of their starting D tackles, big body guy inside. They signed Benjamin St. Just. They also signed Sky Moore. And then they also signed the D lineman from Minnesota, which was probably their biggest offseason splash, in Javon Hargrave.
Mhm.
Now, what does it look like for them in the draft? We know they don't have a 1st-round draft pick because their 1st-round draft pick was traded away for Micah Parsons, who was having an all-pro year until he met the turf in Cincinnati, I believe, and he ended up blowing out his knee chasing Joe Burrow down. So they have a couple picks still. I think they have 3 7th-round picks or 2 7th-round picks, which we'll get to. But in this year's draft, they're picking in the 2nd round at 52. They have their 3rd at 84. They have their 4th at 120.
Mm.
They have a fifth at 160, a sixth at 201, and then they have two late round seventh round picks at 236 and 255, which 255, if I'm thinking correctly, might be one of the last picks, if not the last pick, which was a
Yeah.
compensatory pick.
Hmm.
So they have similar needs to which the Bears do. Edge being top need with the trade of Rashawn Gary. Micah Parsons is probably going to miss the first couple games of the year. So, as a Bears fan, I would be in that camp and hope that we can play him early, maybe second game, third game of the season, so we don't have to see Micah Parsons. But we'll see. Last year we played him twice. What, like week 13 and week 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of backloaded on that one. They're also in desperate need of a cornerback. So maybe a little bit of carryover there, but edge will be interesting to see how the Bears and the Packers will fight for that, because they would end up picking before the Bears at 57 in the second, if edge is where they decide to go. So they could be fighting for a couple different guys at that point.
Who's even going to be available at, did you say they pick like 56?
57 or
57?
52, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
52. Like, good luck, guys. Good luck, who's ever left on the board for their needs,
Right. And that's what's going to be interesting. So I'm just bringing up a big board real quick here. So let's kind of look into what type of players they might be looking at, because they might be slightly different than what we were used to looking at,
Can you
because they're
share
a
any
little
of
bit of,
this?
yeah, yeah. I'll share the big board in just a second here. Let me bring it up and get to it here. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So let's bring this up real quick here. So I'm just using the draft board that we've been using here before. So let's go to Edge. All right. Reese Bailey, all projected to go beforehand. Um, Falk, Howell, probably going to be gone by the time they hit 52. Mesidor's going to be gone. Parker's probably going to be gone. Zion's probably going to be gone as well. So they're going to be in the range of probably like a Malachi Lawrence or Gabe Yakis. Maybe even Derek Moore, who we talked about for the Bears in the second round. So there's a couple player bleed over there. Gabe Yakis is a prototypical DA defensive end. So that could be somebody that they're looking at. So that, I don't know, I could see those two players kind of bleeding over a little bit there.
Okay.
Um, let's see here. I mean, if they're fighting for edges, yeah, I got to think that those would probably be the edges that would be available. Maybe Mason Thomas, who we've never really looked in depth at, because he's probably going to be gone by the time the second round pick for the Bears rolls around, and he's not a first round talent. So I think we kind of skipped over him. Malachi Lawrence out of UCF is somebody that's been going up the boards a little bit. Good pass rusher, but grades out real poorly in run defense. So I don't know if that's somebody that the Packers would be looking at either, because they already kind of have their high end pass rushing D end that I'm assuming they would need somebody a little bit more well rounded. I see the wheels turning. Who are you looking up here?
Just making sure both our streams are running smoothly
Oh,
right now.
okay.
Doing some background
Gotcha.
stuff here.
So, all right. I see. All right. So, with that being said, we feel pretty confident about the D line prospects there. As being Bears fans, we have kind of dissected the top probably 20 prospects for D line in this draft. But there could be a couple people that they're fighting for with that as well in the second. Maybe a Caleb Banks if he starts slipping. Christian Miller, Lee Hunter, Dominic Orange. These are all run stuffing type of guys. So I don't know if those guys are going to be targets of the Bears, where Caleb Banks is kind of a dual threat D tackle. Peter Woods is still very popularly being mocked to the Bears in the first. So I don't think he would be there. But we looked at Overton, Grayson Halton, guys of that nature there that that we could have a little bit of overlap with them as well. I would definitely say as a whole, the Packers have kind of seen their roster degrade quite a bit. They lost a ton of depth, man. Their secondary was always kind of suspect. The one strength of that team last year that you would think about right away was all those wide receivers. Well, that wide receiver room isn't that deep anymore. At this point, they have Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and then they're hoping Tucker Kraft could come back after that knee injury. That's kind of their big three right now, with one of them coming off that major knee injury.
Yeah, their wide receiver room wasn't really all that really to begin with. I mean, a Romeo Dobbs came up big for him, kind of a bunch, but he's gone, so that hurts that wide receiver room a lot. But as a Bears fan, I'm happy to see it.
Yeah. Dobbs went to the Patriots. Wicks, we now know, went to the Eagles. So yeah, I mean, we'll kind of see how that shakes out. Jordan Love is going to be the wild card for that. He kind of seems to be a polarizing player. You kind of never know what you're going to get. I think he's one of those QBs that if you could get pressure on him and rattle him early, you could get him off his game fairly quickly.
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right.
Happy to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, because all you guys watching and tuning in, don't forget, we're going to have an Everything Bears Show live draft party where we get to see what Green Bay does. Now, we won't get to see them till the second day, but going to keep our eye on our division rivals during that.
Yeah, it will be quite interesting to see what these guys do and how many of these players are crossing over. And this draft, we keep on hearing it. It's not very deep. So most of the pundits out there are saying there's about 15 players in this draft that have a first round grade. And after that,
Wow.
everybody's kind of slotted in the positions they are just because it's a weaker class.
Yeah.
They're saying next year's going to be loaded. What does that do to the strategy? Are the Bears going to trade down and not overpick somebody? They'll rather take talent that matches up more to the rounds. Are
Sure.
they going to go BPA and then continue to build next year through next year's draft? Who knows, man? I think a lot of teams will be kind of in the same mode. Does it mean that teams will be able to trade up and not have to give up as much because the value just isn't there in the players?
Right. Right.
That's what makes the draft so exciting. We just don't know.
We don't know.
Mm-hmm. So moving on to the Vikings. So the Vikings still have their first round pick. They finished fourth in the division this past year. So they have picks 18 in the first round. In the
Ooh,
second, they have 49. They have 2 third-round picks at 82 and 97. No fourth-round pick, but they do have 163 in the fifth, 196 in the sixth, and they have 3 seventh-round picks, 234, 235, and 244.
okay.
Yeah, so they got some compensatory picks, I think. Those were those ones added on at the end there. The Vikings needs D tackle is kind of the top of their board here. Cornerback, which overlaps with the Packers and the Bears, D tackle wise at least. Cornerback, I think all three teams would look to add one.
Yeah.
They're looking for a center and interior lineman, uh, running back, and then a safety. So they could be one of the people in play at safety as well.
Yeah, and they pick before us, so they could scoop up. They could
One of the
scoop up
guys
one of
there.
our safeties. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Harrison Smith, the longtime Viking, has decided to retire, I believe, there. So they could be in the mix for like EMW, Manuel McNeil Warren could be in the Dylan Thieneman conversation. Because if you think Harrison Smith, I would think a realistic comp in this draft would be Thieneman.
Would be him.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, very similar play style on that. Um, who knows? They could like AJ Halsey, Caleb Downs. I don't think is going to be there when that pick at 18 rolls around, but I could see them going safety early on as well. Um, they're set at edge, so that's one team that I don't think that we need to worry about having certain prospects kind of taken out from underneath us, but you just never know if it is a true BPA situation. Be curious to see what they might be thinking.
Sure. Yep. Ooh wee. Just sounds like we don't. So the first two teams, you're right out of the gates, right? We look at the Packers, we look at Minnesota. We haven't hit Detroit yet, but these first two teams, they got some holes to fill, huh?
Yeah. It's not just the Bears, man. It's not just the Bears. You think about the Lions offseason too. Before we jump officially over to them, let me just bring up the Vikings transactions, what they did in the offseason here.
Yeah.
They let's see.
Donnie Burr.
Danny
Detroit
baby.
first. We haven't. If you stick around, you might be able to contribute a little bit because we haven't. We're going over all of our divisional rivals and their needs going into the draft this offseason, right? We haven't hit the Lions yet. They're next. But you being a devout Lions fan, you could tell us what are your biggest needs. What do you guys like? What kind of holes are you guys needing to fill for you to feel confident going in week one? Fill us in. Give us the intel. Don
You
Burr, good to
gotta
see you. Good morning.
you gotta think that for the Lions, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, after the whole Decker situation, left tackle's got to be top of the list right there.
Yeah.
So they might be people who would be in on that Caden Proctor train. We'll see. So the Vikings here, they had a couple different transactions going on too. They moved a lot of people around.
All righty then. Okay.
Yeah. So they're just going to forfeit all their draft picks. All right. We'll take them. We need a new kicker, so why not use pick 17 on a kicker, right?
There you go. First round, Detroit. Go kicker.
All right, so let's see. The Vikings released Jonathan Allen and Hargrave, so D lineman. So they thinned out there. Harrison Smith was released, and I think he'll end up retiring. Is kind of the word on the street there. They signed Kyler Murray to help back up 9 there.
Oh yeah, Kyler Murray. That should be a nice quarterback competition out there in Minnesota. Yep.
Yeah. And then they agreed to terms with their punter and then re-signed Carson Wentz. And then they also signed a tackle, Ryan Van DeMark. So they got awful thin at D-line, interior D-line. That's where their biggest holes are, and that's probably where they're looking at in the first round as well. So that could be another big D tackle target coming off the board within the division before the Bears are up at 25.
Yeah. And let me clarify too. When I said a good quarterback competition, I actually meant shit show.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of weird to think that the Vikings' best quarterback on that team debatably could be Carson Wentz?
Comical. Yes.
Yes.
Comical.
We'll see what happens there, man.
We're going to wait and see on that. Yeah. No doubt.
Let's be honest. Kyler Murray probably has the inside track to that starting job. But at the same time, does Kyler Murray scare you?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Same. Yeah, he's got some playmaking ability.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe the change of scenery is what he needed.
Well, so that, and I also would add a better coaching.
Mhm.
Kevin O'Connell's got to be a better coach than who the hell did he have? Yeah. So
a defensive-minded coach.
So he's just in a better situation, like you said, with a nice fresh start. Could be something. There. He's going to have weapons coming out of his ears because Minnesota ain't short of weapons.
Yeah, and this is not a good quarterback draft at all either. So if they're looking to possibly double down at that position, let me just bring up the Beast top 10 quarterbacks here real quick.
Oh, yeah.
There's really not much there at all, man.
No.
This year there's quarterback void. That is for sure. So the top 10, Fernando Mendoza, who's probably going to be the number 1 pick. Ty Simpson is rated number 2. Then after that, Garrett Nussmeier. Yeah. Drew Aller, Cole Payton, Carson Beck, Taylor Green. I mean, some of these guys might not get picked until the 4th or 5th round.
Yeah. They're going to get shadoored.
Yeah. And not even because they don't have first round grades. They have lower round grades on them. I could see Mendoza and Simpson going in the first round. I could see somebody trading back into the first round to get Simpson if he's sitting there in the high 20s type of thing towards the end of the draft. I could see the Bears trading with somebody who wants to trade back in to do that, depending on who's on the board to pick up extra picks. But then after that, man, it's barren.
Nothing. Nothing.
Drew out of Penn State is a possible potential. Probably decent upside, but definitely developmental. Carson Beck is like 36 coming out of Miami. He's only been in college for like 7 years.
Okay.
It's I don't know, man. Taylor Green is probably the most athletic quarterback of the group, but raw as raw can be. I think the Richardson experiment in Indianapolis might turn people away from that. Cade Klubnik out of Clemson, like another developmental piece. Yeah, man. I mean, most of these guys at the bottom, I couldn't even tell you what team they played for. Haynes King, Joe Fagnano. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a good quarterback class this year.
No, I think just reading through it, probably could have told you where about 5 of these guys play, maybe 6 out of the top 10, which is kind of telling in itself, I think there. So
It happens sometimes. Just some years they're just bad quarterback years. Not every year could be the year Caleb came out.
yeah, I mean, but can you think of the last time that we might have or we might be facing only one quarterback being drafted in the first round?
Hmm.
I mean,
No.
Google might know.
No, yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm running blanks here
Yeah,
because
keep
I
thinking.
don't. Was there ever a draft where only one quarterback was drafted in the first round?
Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't that long ago, actually.
Oh,
The last time only one quarterback was drafted in the first round was in 2022.
really?
Yeah. Can you take a stab at who that quarterback was? He went to the Pittsburgh Steelers that year. Quarterback out of Pittsburgh,
No.
Kenny
Was
Pickett.
yeah, Kenny. Wow.
Yeah.
So that was another terrible year for quarterbacks coming out of the draft.
Yeah. The one before that was in 2013 when EJ Manuel was the only quarterback taken out of the first round. And he was garbage as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
crazy to me.
it kind of really wouldn't shock me if that happens this year.
Yeah.
If Mendoza's he goes number one, and then we don't see another quarterback till the second round or later.
Yeah, agreed. And in second round, I think there's enough quarterback desperate teams that Ty Simpson would last no longer than the second. But yeah,
Yeah.
it does he have a first round grade on him? No. But it's a premium position. And I can see it. I can see the Browns trading back in to take like a Ty Simpson. Why not, right?
They sure have 10 quarterbacks
Yeah.
on your roster. Sure.
And they're all, at the same level. Garbage.
They're all
So,
whole lot of
sorry.
mid.
They have a Pro Bowler on their roster. They actually
They
have
do.
2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks on their roster.
Jeez. Old Captain Rub and Tug and
Yes.
then Shador Sanders, who obviously didn't deserve to be voted into the Pro Bowl. I don't know. I still will never understand how that happened. But whole lot of mid. Whole lot of mid out in Cleveland.
It did. So, whew. All right. I guess we could start talking about the Lions now that we've given Don a few minutes to get settled in. So,
well, I mean, he already gave us his summation. They're perfect.
That's right. My bad. Yeah.
Despite any, Tyler Decker leaving and no more David Montgomery. They did bring in Pacheco, though, to replace him.
Mm-hmm. So here's the list of transactions for the Lions. I mean, obviously, they got rid of a bunch of the trash here. Released offensive lineman Graham Glasgow and tackle Taylor Decker. They also released Josh Pascal. They traded David Montgomery because who would want that person being the 2 in your 1-2 punch to the Houston Texans, to which they acquired an offensive lineman in Juice Scruggs. A lot of juices on the move, man. I guess the other guy was St. Juice, but I mean, this was a high quality signing for the rest of the division. The Lions sign offensive lineman Larry Borum. Quality right there.
Oh, Lions, you're welcome. Larry Borum. You guys are going to love him. Case like a speed bump in a neighborhood.
They also signed Cade Mays, who's an offensive lineman. They re-signed Tom Kennedy, like you said before. They signed Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, Mr. 2 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah,
with Pacheco, that's what he's turned
probably be a pretty good change of pace back if they had to pick one. I mean, obviously not near the quality of David Montgomery, but
Right.
They signed Christian Eisen, who was a DB, Trevor Nowaski, who was a linebacker, tight end, and Tyler Conklin. They re-signed Malcolm Rodriguez, if you remember from the Hard Knocks. Rodrigo, I think they called him. He was a rookie that year.
Oh, yeah.
Signed a cornerback in Roger McCreary. Re-signed Rocky Sin, who was another cornerback. Signed DJ Wanham, who was an edge. They signed a linebacker in Damon Clark, a wide receiver in Greg Dortch. Yeah.
Because they got rid of Anzalone, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of transactions. Like this roster is going to look completely different, which after that performance last year, I'm sure Don could agree, there needed to be some roster turnover in this. They needed to get younger too. They signed Peyton Turner, who was an edge, re-signed Teddy Bridgewater. They re-signed Ben Barch. They re-signed their kicker and Jake Bates. It's probably one of the top 2 or 3 kickers in the league. And then they signed safety Chuck Clark. And they re-signed Avante Maddox, who was a DB. So a ton of movement.
Perfect, Don.
Yeah.
Perfect.
They just had to move the chess pieces on the board, I guess. At that point, they would need a couple boards to set up with all those pieces that were on the move.
All right.
So,
all right, Don. All right. Sounds like there's a lot of holes to fill, actually.
Yeah. So we talked about it before we started getting into the other stuff. Left tackle's got to be the most glaring hole right now for them with Decker being gone.
Sure.
They do have pick number 17 in the first round. So they'll be able to fill that hole if they want to with one of the top prospects. They have pick 50 in the second, 118 and 128 in the fourth. They have 2 picks in the fifth as well with 157 and 181. 2 picks in the sixth with 205 and 213. And then they have pick 222 in the seventh. So they have 9 picks this year.
Sounds like they're gonna need every bit of them. I mean, with all that movement, it's like all that turnover. Sounds, I want to say rebuild because that might be a little strong, but with all that movement, like I said, that team's gonna be completely unrecognizable from my perspective because I don't pay attention to them much. But when I see them on the field and they here's their starting lineup, and I'm gonna be like, who?
What?
Who? What happened to? Where did? How? Who? All right. Hey, good luck, Lions. Good luck.
You'll know the usual suspects: Jamar Gibbs,
Yeah,
Jared
Jared
Goff,
Goff,
Amon St. Brown,
St. Brown,
Laporta,
yeah.
right?
Laporta, Tesla,
yeah,
Tesla,
yes.
Very good tight ends out there. I'll say that. Very good tight ends. But with losing a couple offensive linemen, that kind of hurts. That's got to sting a little.
Well, yeah, especially at the left tackle spot. Their offensive line definitely wasn't as good last year as it's been in the previous years. Right. And so you're now taking another step back. And you and I think, have some insight on how we feel about Borum being on that offensive line. As a Bears fan, I'm ecstatic. That's a great pickup for the Lions.
Yeah. And mind you, too, like Larry Borum hasn't been a Bear in a number of years. Because I think he went to like Washington or something.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, and he sucked there too. So then you sign him, you bring him in. Maybe, you know what? Maybe, God bless, you'll get a different iteration of Larry Borum. But
yeah, just like the Bears did with Nate Davis.
Oh, very similar to that. Very similar, except Nate Davis. I think Larry Borum might actually enjoy football.
It's true.
He's hit his ceiling is the thing. So maybe he's more of like a depth piece, and they're gonna maybe figure out something. I'll tell you what, if our defensive line is lined up across Larry Borum on Sundays, I'll be a happy camper.
I will too.
Yeah.
It's been so long. What he was playing, didn't he play guard for us though on the interior? Or was he
Maybe
playing right tackle maybe before?
he was either right or left tackle. I remember, and maybe in his last death rattles they put him at guard.
Yeah,
But yeah, he was a tackle.
death rattles. That's not funny.
Well, try to give the guy a job. We'll find some place to put you, kiddo. We'll find some place to put you. Well, fuck it, guard. You want to play guard? You can. If you want to see the field, you're going to need to play guard
Yeah.
because our offensive line has been horrendous for a long time.
Yeah, and speaking of our offensive line, I think that's one of the reasons why we're looking at all these tackles. I know we talked about it before. I don't think it's for left tackle. Even like Caden Proctor, um, Ian Aker, I have a feeling that the Bears are starting to look ahead because Jonah Jackson and Tooney, yes, they're playing probably peak of their career right now, but they're also up there in years. They're, I think, our two oldest offensive linemen. So these might be picks to give them versatility and for something that they can kind of mold into a future possibility.
Develop,
Yeah.
develop young guys behind them. Yep.
I love the fact that they held on to McFadden and
Yes.
still have him for that piece. So that's I think going to pay dividends for him as well. Gives you a little bit of an insurance policy. So I'll be curious to see what this first round's going to be all about. Um, we'll find out. But outside of tackle for the Lions, they're looking for an edge to go opposite of Hutch. They're looking at safeties as well, D tackles and linebackers. So a lot of the same needs again, man. And they're all picking ahead of the Bears. So we might be staring at another one of these drafts where we're like, oh yeah, we could get and he's gone. So,
Yeah. That's happened to us on a few of our mocks. I think I remember one specifically. Didn't they pick right before us in one round? Remember, and they picked the guy we wanted. Like
yeah.
that pick
I
right
think it was in
before
the
us.
fourth. Yeah.
Like, damn it, damn Lions.
Yeah. The good news is we don't have to wait that much longer. The draft is in 11 days. 11 days. We need to think about setting a schedule for that time.
Yeah. And we'll probably go live as soon as they start.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 minutes before they start, maybe, but that's going to be a long sit.
Yeah, it will
there'll
be so.
There'll be like little potty breaks, intermissions, refills on drinks. Unless I can get my wife, to, hey, babe, can you bring me something to drink? I'm parched. I can't get up. The Bears pick next.
That's where you just need to buy your mini fridge for the office.
The mini fridge.
And be
That's
like,
it.
babe, it's a business expense.
It
It's
could
got,
be a business expense.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Yep. All right, I'll be shopping for a mini fridge. I got the work place.
Yeah, I think I have one at work. I might be able to grab for up here. Whew, I'm running out of outlets to plug stuff into, though.
Oh, yeah.
So it starts 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's 7 my time. Man, I'll be running home that day to get on. So yeah.
Beep, beep, get the hell out of where.
Yeah. Move it. But okay. Can make this work. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to. We'll have to I think we'll get the big board up and going. Maybe even we could do like the draft sim where we pick every team and then we do the picks. We'll be able to figure that out and kind of see what's going on. So we could see BPA for the players and the different positions. Um, I don't know if the 4-letter network, I don't remember from last year if we have it up, if they'll have like a rolling big board or not after picks are taken.
Oh yeah, see, because you just beat me to it because I was thinking something similar where, let's say our usual suspects that are always here in our shows and plus
Yeah.
ours as well. If we just have a show before the draft, obviously dedicated to our wish list
Hmm.
of guys that we hope we draft throughout the whole damn draft. So day 1, day 2, day 3 picks, all the names. And then that way we can have like a little scratch card. So every time another team picks one of our guys, we scratch it off. Oh,
Oh, sorry, Big
no.
Mike.
Big Mike. Well, have a good sleep.
Yeah.
You could always review the show after it. I'm terrible at scheduling. Move it, man. You got 11 days. Move
Yeah.
it.
Push it back to the weekend. Be like, I'm more relaxed on the weekend.
That's right. I don't want to do a sleep test on a Thursday.
Mm.
But Big Mike, what's up? Good morning, sir. Were you here the whole time? We showed your clip of Ben Johnson getting ready in the off season. His off season ritual.
Yeah. Christopher, I wish I was live on draft day, but I feel like you'd be scared to have me on.
Nonsense. You're always welcome.
Have to see if we can get like a big virtual room going. I don't know if that
Yeah.
would be possible or not. Maybe. Well, we would
Like
have to
we could
figure out how to stream it though.
we'd have whatchamacallit? Well, at least guests on the show. We could have like 10, 12 people on the screen all at once.
Okay. Maybe that's what we do. We'll send links out. So for you guys that are out there, we'll send links out. You can join us in the virtual room. We can chat it up. Just have a big open conversation. We'll talk about all the picks and then go from there, man. The more the merrier.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and then just for your information, Christopher, now your comments will be displayed all the time because the comments are on the screen. So you can't blame us for not reading any of your comments
Right.
because now they're out there for everybody to see.
At all times. If we really like them, we'll zoom in on them like this one time and really put it on blast.
So Big Mike will be there. Yeah.
Oh.
Come on, man.
All right. Yeah, then you're here. You're in there. You'll be here. Like you said, just when you go to bed, you got to turn into Darth Vader.
I should probably do one of those too. Yeah.
I need one. Yeah. I think I'm suffocating in my sleep every night.
Yeah.
That's a different show. But anyways, yeah. All right. So Big Mike will be here for drafting. Very good.
Christopher will be on a beach sipping Mai Tais, I'm sure. So.
Yeah. Says me and Big Mike are the OGs. You guys are. You guys were here since like day one. Got a couple others. Creates an OG. Learns an OG.
Yeah.
Don Burr, he's new. Don Burr's new. Do you see Big Mike? Did you see in the chat? Don Burr, he graced us with his presence earlier. Don Burr. Let's see. We get invites for sure. Yeah. Chris, Big Mike, Learn, Create.
We do Romy.
Oh, Romy? God, fuck, I forgot about Romy. Right, Romy. Henrock.
Yeah, Fallon pops in. He can jump on.
Chris is like, fuck Learn.
It would be good. Be a good time.
Said I'm going live on draft night just to talk shit on the Lions and Cowboys. There you go. We'll Don Burr. I see polls drafting Velus Jones 2.0 at 25. Ooh.
Who are you considering Velus Jones 2.0 is my
Yeah,
next question.
that is the obvious question, yes.
Yeah.
Because because again, with all the mock talk and the draft talk that we've done on the show, we have said I don't put nothing past Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles at this point. We could go wide receiver at 25, but who is, in your opinion, Velus Jones 2.0?
You thinking like Jordan Tyson, who's been mocked a couple times there, KC Concepcion
What
out
about
of A&M.
the
Yeah.
Lance brother?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a little bit further down there.
But Don Burke could be thinking we're going to pick that guy at
Yeah,
25, even
sure.
though he's a third or fourth round talent.
Take Omar Cooper Jr. So Denzel Boston, who is rated in the top 25, right around that 25 number out of Washington. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we could take a look at some of these guys here if you want to really take a look here. So
If I was a Lions fan, I'd be more worried about what Dan Gamble's going to pick at their first pick.
yeah, you got to think that he's going to be defense all the way, right? I mean, I know he's a tight end at heart, but still. Makai Lemon, some people, I think he's going to be kind of the X factor in this first round. Yeah, he was the Blitnikoff winner, but he came across as a psycho in his meetings. So,
we'll that see. Was the guy?
Yeah.
Oh God,
it was just mean mugging people. Didn't really talk ball, from my understanding. So.
I don't want to. Don't touch that guy. Leave him alone.
Yeah, he'd be kind of scary there. I could see Jordan Tyson being somebody that they would have to consider. I think Omar Cooper has been mocked a lot higher than the 5th, so I don't think he would be there. Amari Cooper's younger brother, I believe. So we'll see. No Oklahoma receivers on here, Chris. What's going on, man? What happened, buddy?
There's other wide receiver factories going on.
Yeah. In his defense, Oklahoma is more of a quarterback factory, right? So will the Bears go running back? That last mock that we did, we took Mike Washington. I do find it kind of humorous that the top 2 backs are both out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm not buying Jadarian Price. Okay, so we kind of fell for this before. I think I said this. When we drafted Roshan, he came out highly touted because he was behind Bijan Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but when he got his carries, he really shined and bop. And I think that's probably where Jadarian Price is going to fall. Like, yeah, when Jeremiah Love had a spell and you went in for him, yeah, you balled out. But an every down back and a high value, I don't think so.
Yeah. Starting caliber talent with work to do in pass catching and ball security. Okay, those are 2 things that I rank very highly in a running back at this point.
In your starting running back, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, facts.
Yeah, Mike Washington. We started looking at his tape. We liked him. Yeah. We'll need to improve on third down. Well, that would be something that the Bears don't need between Swift and Monangai. I mean, I'm sure when they talk about needs to improve on third down, they're talking about pass protection.
Right.
So Monangai, I think that's why he didn't see the field early on, but he picked that up fairly quickly.
He did. Yep, he sure did. And knock on wood, still had perfect ball security. Seems to be like a strength of his. He never fumbled in his whole college career. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then had plenty of carries in the NFL. No fumbles.
And no fumbles at all. Now we're getting the wide receiver rundown from Christopher.
From Chris. All right. What has he got? He said all the wide receivers just went back to school. They didn't.
Mhm.
They didn't declare for the draft. Okay, that's why none of them are listed. C.D. Lamb, Hollywood Brown, Marvin Mims. They're all in the NFL right now.
That is true. Hollywood Brown's probably on the tail end of his career. Where did he end up? See, because he just went somewhere too. Maybe the Steelers or something? No, I don't think that's right.
I don't think they moved him yet.
Eagles, yeah. Okay. I wanted to say the Eagles, but I thought he was there already.
Yeah, he was there already.
Yeah, so that just reinforces what we were talking about earlier. A.J. Brown is going to be traded on draft day. That's almost a given. So that's going to shake it up. That's one of the things that a lot of people are saying, that this could be a heavy trade year. So this draft could get completely disrupted. And just think, all those months of doing mock drafts and checking out players, and it could just be all for naught because this thing's going to just get turned upside down. The Hollywood Brown, Baltimore, KC, then the Eagles.
What about the Titans? I saw a picture of him in a Titans uniform.
Yeah, I think it was there too. I think that's kind of where he made his name too. Like where he was kind of breaking out was with the Titans.
So he was drafted 51st overall in the second round of the 2019 draft. He spent 3 seasons in Tennessee. After Tennessee, he went to the Eagles from 2022 to the present. Acquired by the Eagles via. We're talking about A.J. Brown, right?
Well, we were talking about Hollywood Brown, but yeah, I think we just flip flopped in there. Like Christopher is saying, that was A.J. Brown.
My bad. I typed in the wrong thing.
It's
a
all
live
right.
show. Things happen.
Yeah.
Good call, Chris.
Nickname Hollywood. So yeah, he was
Okay.
selected in 2019 by the Baltimore Ravens, where he spent his first 3 seasons, and then went on to Arizona.
Oh.
We don't quite have enough people up here for a poll, but Christopher, if you're following the Cowboys, Cowboys still have 2 first rounders this year, correct? Who do you think, or what positions do you think that they're going to draft at in the first round? Let's see. Cowboys have 12 and 20. Oh, Chad's getting on this. Chad, who do you think Cowboys are going to draft in the first round with 12 and 20? What are your predictions?
That's pretty good. 12 and 20.
Yeah. Christopher thinks that they're going to trade. You think they're trading for a player or they're trading one of those picks out of the first round? So I guess I should clarify too with Chad. Chad, where do your official allegiances lie now that you have moved? Are you still a Chargers guy or are you converting over to pure Texas teams here? All right, so okay. I have a feeling Downs drops to 12. However, I think all the defensive guys they want are gone. Wow, Caleb Downs dropping to 12, huh? That would be interesting. I mean, if something like that were to happen, would a team like the Bears try to trade up and get to it? I don't know. That would be interesting to see. Caleb Downs being the top rated safety.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So returning to your roots, Chad. I see you. Okay. Yeah, this safety class is kind of interesting too. Because if we're using the Beasts draft guide and their top 10 at each position, which is a little bit different than most of the boards that we've been looking at, right? Because, the top three are the same. Keontae Scott being up here at 4 is a big change. Halsey being at 5 is quite a bit different as well because a lot of the big boards have Kamari Ramsey as the third or fourth ranked safety. Genesis Smith is a little bit higher than like Bud Clark in that. They have Zakee Wheatley highly ranked on here, which is a lot higher than most of the boards as well. So these rankings are kind of interesting. It seems that they're going a little bit against what we've been seeing a lot in some of these other mocks. I mean, let's look at the top 10 overall. Caleb Downs as the 5th ranked player on the Beast board or the Beast draft guide. And could he fall to 12? Possibly. I mean, I think with the premium on the edges. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Chris says Spears Jennings. I'll take it late also if you don't grab him. Yep.
I'll be curious to see where he goes. Because when we were mocking early on, he was rated as like around a 5th round pick. But after the combine, he definitely improved his stock. That's for sure. And I'm just taking a look at my other screen here. So they still have Robert Spears Jennings rated in where'd he go? Around 230 in this draft for overall player. So depending on needs, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, just kind of comparing the two. Yeah, wow. Okay. The top 10s on all these different boards are going to be vastly different, it looks like. I wish we could be a fly on the wall and, see Ryan Pohl's board and kind of see what they think or see how that whole process shakes out. That'd be very interesting. So we'll see. Chad, quick question for you as well. We were talking about quarterbacks earlier. Do you see two quarterbacks coming out of the first round, or you think it's going to be Mendoza and that's it? Christopher, I'll throw that out to you as well, man. What do you think? Is this going to be another year where we only see one quarterback drafted in the first round? All right, so Chad's saying two. You think it's Simpson being the other one? Christopher says still can't believe Dallas passed on Derrick Henry. Okay. So Chad's predicting a trade up. I do think somebody's going to trade back in at the worst case if Simpson is there a little bit later. Okay, Christopher's calling his shot then as well. He doesn't think Mendoza's going to be that great, which would be a typical Raider thing here, huh?
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time the Raiders drafted a quarterback number one? Was that Jamarcus Russell?
Yeah.
That worked out pretty good for him.
No.
Uh,
No. And I wonder too. I wonder what their options were that draft, but like this time it just seems like they're screwed because
There's
lack
nobody.
of options. There's I mean, I'm not majorly impressed with Mendoza, to be honest. So the fact that he's the best quarterback coming out of this draft is like, oh boy, sorry Raiders. That's just the way the chips fell.
Yeah.
They should try to make a move to get, I don't know what, another like a veteran quarterback. Maybe they pick something else. Trade out of the first pick. Trade back. Get a Hall. Get a veteran. And maybe next year's class will be better.
Well, I mean, they did sign Kirk O'Chains.
Oh well, okay.
And he got big money again, big guaranteed money.
Yeah,
So
go
I
with
just
him.
looked it up. So the year that Jamarcus Russell was traded number one, there was one other quarterback taken in the first round, a quarterback from Notre Dame.
Notre Dame quarterback.
Yeah, he was considered a halfway decent prospect at the time.
Oh, this is ringing a bell. I know who
Yeah.
it is. I know who it is. Fudge. Kaiser.
No, not quite. Christopher
Damn.
got it though. Brady Quinn, man.
Quinn. Damn.
Yeah.
You're right. Brady Quinn did come out with some clout.
Yeah. But he ended up dropping all the way down to 22. I think Chad brings up a good point here. Next year's QB class will be stacked. 84-esque? Ooh. That's a statement.
That is.
Yeah.
That is a statement. That's one of the best, if not the best, quarterback class ever.
Yeah. Which we'll see how, Caleb's draft stacks up in the next several years.
So far, it's looking good.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the top four, Caleb, Jaden, Drake, and Bo Nix.
Mm-hmm.
They've all had playoff appearances.
Yeah.
They all have had a playoff win so far.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What are those little things Christopher's got next there? OBJ?
I think that's what happens when he tries to share emojis that aren't compatible.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is going on there? So Christopher's already calling his shot. Okay. John Mateer, obviously OSU quarterback. Though he looked good when he played Michigan this past year, I will say that. I think he ended up getting hurt down the stretch. What type of quarterbacks are we looking at next year?
Archie.
Yeah, Archie. Moore from Oregon, who shocked everybody. Fuck OSU. Are we saying Ohio State University? So you got Archie, Julian Sayin from Ohio State, Dante Moore, Lenore Sellers from South Carolina, Jaden Mavia from USC. 84-esque, huh?
CJ Carr from Notre Dame. Is that any relation to the
I
Carr family?
Ooh, good question. I don't know off the top of my head.
DJ
Yeah.
Lagway from Florida. Lenoris Sellers from South Carolina.
Mhm.
Curious about CJ Carr.
Dylan Raiola from Nebraska, baby Mahomes. So
No relation to the Carr family.
okay. 84-esque. Man,
However,
it is a lot better than this year's. I will say that. Chad, I'll be kind of curious who you think's going to be the best one out of that. You think Arch is going to have a better pro career than he did college? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. By then, we should really not have to worry about that because they should be locking up Caleb for his 5th-year option plus the extended deal.
he is, however, related. His grandfather, Lloyd. Speaking of CJ Carr, still sorry, I'm going down a rabbit hole on CJ Carr now. His grandfather was Lloyd Carr.
Oh, from Michigan. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And his father was Jason Carr, former Michigan quarterback.
Okay.
So he's got some Michigan ties. His father and grandfather. But he decided to play for the Fighting Irish. All right. Well, good luck to him. I mean, just seeing these names, yeah, it's better than this year's quarterback class.
Yeah. Chad saying Sellers will be the best one coming out, and he's saying Arch will be a better pro. Is Tua the starting quarterback in Atlanta over Penix? In the short term, he is for sure.
Sure.
Long term, I think that Atlanta's going to have to see what they have so they will know if they want to sign Penix long term or not. That will be an interesting QB battle. Even if Tua comes out and lights it up, I mean, that dude's one hit away from being a bowl of mashed potatoes.
Yeah. I still can't believe he's still playing ball. He needs to be a coach or something.
Yeah.
He's
Or
gonna
be
fuck.
one of
He's
these
gonna
like
hurt himself.
QB3s. Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna hurt himself real bad. But you know, it's his choice. He's a big boy.
Right, exactly. Okay, so Chad's pivoting. He's going to say Arch is going to be the best. We'll see. I hope, man, because he has not been impressive in
No,
college
no,
at
he
all.
hasn't.
And part of it might be just the simple fact that he's got all this buzz around him. But
Sure, expectations might be unrealistic for the kid, but I mean, he does come from such a pedigree.
right.
Like he's just got to be better.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts on Kyle Pitts? The linebacker out of Pittsburgh. No, Kyle Pitts. That's
The tight
tight
end
end
for
out of
the
Atlanta.
Falcons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's underrated. I mean, overrated.
It didn't. They just picked up his option, I think, too.
But he is good though. He's got great size. He's got
Yeah.
a physical specimen. Should just be a little bit more. I mean, it could be the bad quarterback play. It could be bad offensive coordinator. A lot of factors go into it, but I think he should be like way better than what he's shown us so far.
Yeah. Holy, that scared me for a second. I read a quick headline that said Titans acquired Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts. No, it's Titans should acquire
Oh,
Kyle Pitts. Okay. I was like,
yeah.
what? I didn't hear that.
I mean, like if he was on the Bears,
Mhm.
Ben Johnson would be in tight end heaven.
So this is interesting. It's saying that Kyle Pitts reportedly will sign his franchise tag
Ooh.
to report to the offseason program. Pitt locks in his $15 million fully guaranteed contract as the two sides continue to work out a long-term deal. Is he worth $15 million at this point? No way.
I mean, I don't know.
He started breaking out a little bit last year.
Yeah.
Christopher might be right on this, where if he was on a different team and utilized a little bit better, maybe, but he's no Colston Loveland.
No. And tight ends right now. So this is what's hot, right? Because tight ends are hot right now. The utilization of tight ends, 12 personnel, 13 personnel. It's a copycat league. Everybody's going to be copying Ben Johnson's offense. So whoever the offensive coordinator is in Atlanta, maybe he's going to study a little Ben Johnson tape and go, oh, this is how you use a tight end.
Yeah.
And then the kid might just explode.
Yeah.
Because he is a specimen. He's just a big, strong, fast, long kid. Like, again, he should be way better than what he's shown us so far, but 15 mil, I don't know.
Yeah. Pitts only broke out because Cousins was thrown to him during the statistical boom. Plus London was hurt. Yeah.
Right. They got London too.
But they use Pitts a lot as split out. They don't use him in line a whole lot.
Right.
I don't know if he is as good of a blocker as what some of these big tight ends are, to where they can use him in line and double duty him like that. So yeah,
I'm thinking that might be a part of his game that's missing.
Yeah, for sure. I know Jimmy Graham was kind of the same way, where they split him out, and he's really, the innovator of that hybrid tight end position where, yeah, he was listed as a tight end. And remember the whole franchise tag thing with him where, should he get tagged as a wide receiver or as a tight end?
Right.
He lines out in the slot X amount of time, blah, 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 blah. So. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll be curious to see kind of how that whole shapes out. I think, speaking of the Raiders and Kirk Cousins, I think he's the starter next year. I think Mendoza is going to be sitting behind him for a year to learn. So that whole dynamic's going to be interesting because the Raiders don't have a very good offensive line either. We saw that with Genti last year. And if you put Kirk Cousins behind a below average offensive line and maybe Linderbaum helps solidify that, watch out. And that's a recipe for disaster because Kirk O'Chains ain't moving too fast these days.
Yeah, he'll be a turnover machine.
Yeah. Then he's proven that he can be when he's under duress like that, or he's just simply not going to make it through the season. But the contract, his agent, again, man, we need to contact his agent so he can represent us, because his agent, again, got him Just a stupid, ridiculous, guaranteed money contract. I,
He's such a
I,
good guy. I
I
think that's what
don't.
teams pay him
Yeah,
crazily because he's such a genuinely good guy. He's an angel. He's an angel in football equipment.
I guess, but 5 year, $172 million contract with the Raiders, which is functionally a 1 year, $20 million guaranteed deal with 2 years at $80 million with a team option for 2027. So that tells me right there, if you're guaranteeing that first year, they're planning on bringing him in to start.
I mean, it'd be good for Mendoza to sit behind, Kirk Cousins has a shit ton of experience. So yeah, just play. You're the second string quarterback. Learn behind this guy, and then be ready next season.
Yeah. He's got one of those contracts with void years and all that other stuff. 5 years total, includes 2 void years, 1 year guaranteed at 20 million, 2 years with a club option for 80 million. So that right there tells you this is probably one last payday for him.
Oh yeah,
And then he's out. So low salary cap hit in 2026. It's all backloaded. But
Christopher says I'll take Genty any day of the week. Hell yeah. It's just a shame that they draft a running back so high when you don't have an offensive line. Sucks. What
yeah.
can you do? Those are the breaks.
Mm-hmm. Mahomes sat until his final game of his rookie year. Hope the Raiders do the similar. They should at this point. Why else would you sign Cousins for 20 million? Unless he gets hurt, which is probably likely. Um, I see the Raiders doing the same thing.
Best agent ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he just it's like, you know, he made a deal with the devil or something that said, I will only sign guaranteed contracts and you can take my soul when I'm done playing football. I don't know.
He's just been able to take advantage of the quarterback situation, like what the landscape looks like that each of those years, and it just so happens it's his contract year, and it's a really bad quarterback market. Just
Yeah.
full advantage.
Yeah. I mean, this year being the height of that, this is one of the worst quarterback classes and even free agent classes in a while.
Yeah. So again, twice he was able to capitalize on bad quarterback situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that whole Atlanta thing just is really weird to me too. I don't know if that's just Arthur Blank just shooting from the hip or what, where they brought him in, big guaranteed contract, drafting Penix, and I could see why you would want to draft a young quarterback like that, but you didn't have the foresight before you signed this huge contract with Cousins. I don't know, man. Like there needs to be an investigation once Cousins is out of the league. Like, what type of mind control did you have over some of these teams?
He's got the Epstein files.
Right, exactly. You're all in them.
He had a copy of the files.
All right, guys. So the last half hour here is wide open. Whatever you guys want to talk about, feel free. Feel free to bring it up. Let's chop it up a little bit here. We could talk about draft. We could talk about, current rosters where teams are sitting. Whatever you guys want to do. Any schedule predictions, any trade predictions in the draft.
Chris, you missed last night's show again.
Yeah. Wrong day for that one, my friend.
Look at Thursdays and Saturdays, Chris. You come on board Thursday or Saturday. I cover all that. when I'm doing the politics stuff, I try to stay off of the Bears,
Hmm.
even though there's a lot of crossover with the subscribers, and we'll end up talking a little bit Bears on the politics show. But when we're on the Bears show, we try not to cross over into that. Oh, you did say anything.
Okay. Any sports related topics? How about that?
Football. Well,
Yeah.
no, we can go baseball too. I watched Cubs highlights 2 days in a row. They had a good game against who did they play? Not yesterday, because yesterday they played like the Padres and got whooped. But the game
They were
before
playing
that,
the Rays before that, I think, weren't they?
they beat the shit out of the Rays, so that was
Yeah.
cool to see.
It's the old Cubbies ain't off to what you'd call a hot start this year. 6-8. The Pirates are freaking 9-5 at this point. Come on.
Yep.
Water
Bulls
polo.
won't even talk about the
No.
Bulls. They're terrible.
Best thing that's happened to the Bulls is that they fired their front office.
Yeah. And was that at all anything related to letting go of the kid who was, God forbid, Christian? Was it anything to do with that guy? No. Just
Who
bad
knows, man?
management.
Yeah.
Just overall bad management.
When was the last time that they were a serious contender? Yeah,
Derrick Rose with
Yeah.
that team.
pretty much. Pretty much there. So
And not a day after. Golf? Did you see Tiger Woods at that last? So after his DUI, like I saw on YouTube, like this indoors golfing event that apparently the pros are doing. It was pretty weird. I'd never seen this before. So if this has been going on for a while, I live under a rock. But there they are swinging, boom, and then the virtual golf ball goes, and this is how they're golfing. I look at Tiger Woods because he's there playing in this tournament, and I was like, he looks like shit.
yeah.
He looked awful. Like,
Well,
wow.
yeah, man. He's been living off. He's on the Brett Favre diet, vodka and Vicodin, man. So
He looks awful. He's aged terribly.
I did catch myself watching the third round on the Masters. That's how I officially know I'm getting old. I watched probably half a round of the Masters, watching Rory and his round finish up. So he did not have a very good round yesterday, by the way. Shot one over, had a huge lead. So we'll see what happens today. I don't think he's going back to back. Not with the way that he played yesterday, at least.
I'm gonna fight the urge to watch golf. I'm gonna fight it for as long as I can. I'll play video game golf. That's fun.
Yeah.
But I will sit and watch it. Dude, I won't make it one hole. I'll be straight up like
Yeah.
before you know it.
I did have a movie on the other channel that I would watch mostly, and then during commercials, I would
Okay.
kind of flip back and
All right. that's
sometimes
smart.
get sucked in a little bit longer than what I wanted to.
All right.
I
So you
don't
got-
understand why I watch it. I can't play golf worth a damn, and I've tried, and I am just freaking horrendous. So
So it's good. So you've got auxiliary TVs going on.
yes, yeah.
Backup. Golf's on the backup TVs.
Christopher misses the Brett Favre picks that he used to get back in the day. Are you a trainer, Chris? I'd pay money watching a Tiger and John Daly pairing as long as the beverage card follows them.
It would need to.
That would be must-see TV for sure. Whew. So how are your guys' feelings about the draft coming up? Do you see a lot of trades happening? Do you think teams are going to stand pat? Do you think teams are going to kind of, drop back 10 and punt on this draft and try to get as much assets for next year? What are your guys' feeling?
Well, I would think, is there anybody in this draft, while you guys ponder that and answer in the chat, I'll generally say to Wedge and everybody listening, is there anybody in this draft where teams are like, You have to get that player. You have to have them. Is there anybody in this draft like that?
I mean, Reese is probably the one guy. I think we were talking about this a little bit before the show. How many players are in this draft that you think have first round draft grades?
If
The best,
15.
yeah, the highest number I was hearing was a dozen, 15, somewhere in there. So
That's brutal.
that's a recipe for a lot of trades, right? Because you could
Yeah.
probably move up. It's not going to cost you as much this year
Right.
as it would in other years because the quality of player is just not there. I mean, you don't have to give up a whole lot for something that nobody wants. I,
There's
like basic
zero
economics.
demand.
Yeah.
It is zero demand. Right.
Mhm.
So I could see a lot of movement. I mean, hell, even us trying to think about us sitting at 25. A lot of our guys we can get at 28, 30, 32.
Yeah.
So we could just go ahead and go, yeah, go ahead. You want 25? You take it. And we pick up an extra third or something to drop back like that. Yeah, I could see that all day.
Yeah. Of course, we're saying lots of trades for D for Dallas. You see move ups, man. Yeah, I guess. Like I was just saying, teams will move up. I don't think it's going to cost them a ton. Um, Chad said I'd love to see multiple trades. However, I get the feeling every team would rather trade back and acquire more draft capital.
Yeah.
This might be like an unprecedented year where the future draft picks really come into play, like futures, and
Yeah.
it's odd, right? I mean, there's a few teams that are in the win now mode, which I think you and I would both say that the Bears are in that mode right now. Can you push it back another year or delay it a year? Maybe, but then that margin of error becomes a lot less. Because you only got 2 more years of a decent contract for Caleb, and then after that,
Yep.
you're figuring it out.
Yeah. And that's why I'm shaking my head no, because I'm like, no, I think unfortunately we're still in win now.
Yeah.
Not desperate win now, but you got, like you said, 2 years of Caleb. I mean, and if Ben Johnson's first year, we made it to the divisional round in the playoffs. Yeah, we're winning now.
Mm. I think Christopher brings up a good point here. I think you're going to see a lot of moves in those day 2 picks, 2 and 3, because that's where a lot of these draft picks are grading out. I think there's kind of a logjam there.
Yeah.
So I could see the movement happening in and around those rounds so that people can either come up or drop back to be in that sweet spot for some of these guys. I mean, even these second tier of edge rushers a lot of them are going to be considered as situational players. We'll see. I'm sure there's going to be a handful of guys that will end up being good starters or were undervalued in the draft. There always is. We'll see who kind of rises to the top here. I'll be curious. Next year's going to be a fun year. Now that we've had so many of these names top of mind, kind of seeing the guys that we missed on or the guys that we would have mocked to the Bears, kind of seeing what they do. And, I think that'll be kind of a fun journey to track.
Oh, big time. Yeah. Because we're all going to have our favorites, right?
Mm-hmm.
Josiah Trotter, like in these mid-round talents. Jennings Spears is another guy. Like, yeah, I can't wait to see them get drafted. Where do they go? And then as the season goes, kind of keep an eye out on their production.
Yeah.
Are they involved? Are they starters? How are they doing? Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see where, like, Jacob Rodriguez goes, where Golday goes from Cincinnati, like what the linebackers look at, what the second tier of pass rushers are going to look like. Are they going to see time? Were they draft risers for a reason? No reason? Hopefully, we could see one of those up close and personal every week. We'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, shoot, if we don't trade out of 25 and we pick, if we don't trade out of the second round, we pick both those. I mean, these are going to be guys, those 3 picks are going to be guys, I think, going into spring training and OTAs. We're like, yeah, we want you to start. We need some starters.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exciting. Love it.
Check it out, man. You get to rep some Dallas gear for draft day. So,
Oh, God. Just a little care package.
yeah, Chad's kind of the same mindset that we are. I think that's the best value in this draft is, I think, that second and third round. So, I agree. I think that's where a lot of the movement's going to be, which will make day 1 and 2 pretty exciting. There'll be a ton of movement going on around there.
Yeah. Very interesting and slightly disappointing if the Bears draft out of the first round or trade back out of the first round.
Mhm.
Because, again, at 25, they're going to look at their big board and go, yeah, any of our guys, they're not here at 25. They're at 30 or the early 30s. Let's just trade back.
You think, what do you think are some of the parameters with that? Like, if all the safeties are gone, if
Or the safeties that we had liked are gone.
Mhm.
Yeah, that. And then I think we might have said this an episode or 2 ago that I don't think defensive tackles is high on the board for us anymore. So there's that. So then are the edge rushers we liked not there as well?
Mhm.
Again, like a Zion Young, you can get him at 34. You don't have to spend the 25 to get him. He'll be there at 34. All
Yeah.
right, trade out of there, go back. I mean, or they just wow us and get a left tackle at 25.
Mhm.
Like, what?
Chad brings up a good point here too. How many people will want to move into the late first round just to get that 5th year of control for some of these guys?
Sure. That's
If
always
they're
a good
prospects,
tactic.
like Zion Young, I think fits that mold, right? We're not sure what exactly he's going to be. He's an up and coming pass rusher. It's more of a power rusher, doesn't have a whole lot of pass rushing moves right now. So is that somebody that you'd want to maybe reach on for that extra year of control? So
Because
you don't trade out. Yeah.
what if he blossoms into
Mhm.
a stud? And you're like, woo, we
Yeah.
got that extra year before we got to break him off.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. To where you have an extra year of development, an extra year of seeing, are they going to be the guy? It could be like an Austin Booker type of situation. First year, you saw something, second year, improving. Third year, if he takes another step, he might be a legitimate option for the Bears. Hell, at this point, he's probably a starter.
I would say he's starting.
Yeah.
He's going into the season. If there
Mhm.
was a depth chart right now, he's the starter.
And I think for those reasons, I agree with Christopher. I think Zion's going to go in the first round. I think he's going to get picked a little bit higher. He's got a couple red flags in the character situation, which, as a Bears fan, makes me a little nervous because Ryan Poles puts a high value on character.
Yeah.
Zion Young was right in the middle of that. I don't want to call it a lynching, but the fight between Michigan and Michigan State, where 7 or 8 Michigan State players jumped a Michigan player in the tunnel and started beating the shit out of him. He was the center of that. He just had a recent DUI. Are those character flaws that would make Pauls move away from a guy like that?
I would say no. And here's my answer.
Okay.
Because typically, yes, everything you said, I agree with. Because we understand Poles the same way. He puts a high value on character, which is why he didn't draft Carter.
Yeah,
Coming right, yeah.
Mhm.
But this year and from last year, we didn't have the locker room to bring in a Jalen Carter. The kid would have been
Sure.
left to his own devices. But now, the locker room that we have, especially on defense, especially that defensive line with Grady Jarrett, Montez Sweat, I mean, he's going to have some old vets, old
Caleb
heads.
Williams.
even Caleb too, because Caleb's turning out to be a great leader as well. I think maybe our locker room can bring in a troubled kid and go, you know what, we're gonna reset your whole mindset here, kiddo, right? And these guys are gonna show you how to be a professional. So I didn't know about the DUI though.
Yeah, that's the most recent one. That I think was from December of 2025. So
Uh,
the rivalry thing,
yeah, the
okay,
fight
the
I
kid
can.
was 18, right?
Yeah,
I could see that. But the DUI, and there hasn't been a whole lot of information out there. Obviously, the Bears have done their due diligence and they
hmm
know everything about it. Was it
right.
legit? Was it, a questionable thing? I don't know, but I agree with you. The locker room at this point in time with the Toonies and the Jacksons and the Grady Jarretts and stuff, they can handle that for sure. With those veterans and consummate pros showing these kids, what it's like to be a pro. I agree with you. In the past, like you said with Jalen Carter, perfect example. I agree with that 100%. If you would have brought that kid in, he would be ripping down the highway, drag
Yeah,
racing with Briggs on,
you
294. So,
you beat me to it. I was like, he would have left his Ferrari on the side of
yeah,
290.
exactly.
It was a
Uh,
Lambo, right? Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
We did not have the locker room to sustain a kid that was kind of troubled. We didn't have it. And I
Yeah.
think that's why, and we've been saying this now for over a year on the show, that's why we brought in Grady Jarrett. Yeah,
And
some of us had hope for some production on the field. That's not why he's here. He's not here to get sacks or TFLs or no. He's here to get this locker room in order. So
Ben Johnson has come straight out and said it as well that the locker room is very important.
it is. Yeah.
That's all in alignment with polls and everything else that's going on. And you start there. And hey, based off the results that we saw last year, that's a great place to start.
Yeah. So I don't think any kind of character issues, providing how bad they are. They did bring in Zion
Mhm.
for a top 30 visit, so maybe they got some answers there.
Sure.
you know,
I'm sure, Zion was like looking at the clock. Is this thing almost over? These questions are a tad bit personal. But
oh, they're gonna get personal,
yeah,
Jerry.
exactly.
So yeah, so I would really wouldn't think they'd be turned off by it too much, because again we got the locker room established.
Mhm.
It depends on how bad that DUI is, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, man. I think
That was good. That was great,
yeah.
man. Everybody was great today. You guys are awesome. You guys were great.
Christopher, any last minute comments that you want us to make sure that we read so I don't gotta hear it all week? You never read my comments. So just making sure before we get ready to sign out. Here's your 2-minute warning that we're
2 minute
getting ready to
warning.
sign out. So get your comments in right now if you want them read. Don't forget, draft party. We're going to be kicking around a couple ideas. Ideally, for anybody that joins us, we're going to invite you on the show. We're just going to have a big open chat room. So if you guys are interested in doing that, make sure that you have a camera and a set of earbuds with headphones, whether it's your cell phone or if you want to set up on a laptop. We plan on having just a huge virtual meeting room where we could discuss every pick and just make it a huge party, basically. It's a live draft party with a bunch of our OG fans on here so that we could just all hang out, have a good time. We'll talk about every pick.
Yep.
Draft starts 7 o'clock Central on Thursday, a week from this upcoming. So we'll get in here. We can start sending out links and we'll just, all hang out, man. Grab your snacks, grab your drinks. We'll have a good old time to, you know, go over what's happening in the draft.
Yeah.
We'll throw up the polls, right? Everybody could comment now that we have polls.
Yeah, it's
You
awesome.
know, are they going to trade? Who's your, well, shoot, at that point, we're all live anyway, so we could just chat it out. But who do you think that X team is going to take? Will Mendoza go number one? Are the Raiders going to trade out? Whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Or if somebody makes a big trade, our instant reactions, all of our instant reactions,
yeah.
because you guys at home are going to have the draft on your TV. We're going to have our draft on the monitors, but we're all going
Mhm.
to be in the chat together. Once we get our TVs all synced up, hopefully we could all react at the same time. But there's going to be, for instance, like I'm going to be following Twitter. I'm going to have Twitter
Yeah.
in a window, and Twitter just unfortunately is going to beat even live TV. I mean, I'm going to be like, oh, that's it. The pick's in for Tennessee. They made their pick,
Yeah.
But it's going to be a great time again. To have everybody live, I think it's going to be insane. You guys really get some earbuds. If you guys have Bluetooth, that'll work because you can use your phone.
Yep.
You'll just come in, you'll turn your phone to the side, got your earbuds in, boom, you're ready to rock and roll.
Chad's calling his shot. Biggest trade going to
Will
be
be
at
at
number
3.
3 right off the
Okay.
bat.
Again, movement in the trade, that's fun stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
To get movement like that in the draft. I mean, yeah, it's great stuff. I like that stuff. And Poles, there's no stranger to moving all up and down the draft board. That guy's nuts when it
Yeah,
comes to
for
draft
sure.
night.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, no, looks like Chris has gone quiet. He's working on a lawnmower.
All right, Big Mike is, yeah.
Oh, that was Big Mike. Sorry,
Yeah.
not Chris.
That is a lawnmower, man. Thankfully, we haven't had to deal with that yet up here. So, looks like the sun's starting to come out. The thunderstorms have
Hey,
passed, and we made it through with power the whole time.
nice.
So,
All right, you guys.
until then, we'll see you Wednesday,
Wednesday,
where
hopefully.
we will be 8 days away from the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait. So, all right. Until then, guys, we'll see you. Peace out. Bear
Peace.
down.